Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Kodash, the water Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this truth and sincerity and meekness, risking their lives and freedom to do so in these last days. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the heathen nations, but come from the seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the speckled bird, whose spirit resonates with this message, as it says in Romans 8 and 16. And as you see, the title says, Lockdown Shanghai residents are getting sick after eating government-issued emergency food supplies, man. Okay. And this is what's going on. This is the times we in, man. All right. It says, we're gonna get right into it. It says sign up for it says Shanghai's 25 million residents have endured an extreme Crown Vic lockdown for nearly a month. And now a new nightmarish topic is trending on Weibo, the country's Twitter-like social media platform. All right. It says after consuming food from government-issued care packages, a number of residents living in housing compounds across several Shanghai neighborhoods have reported suffering from stomach pains and diarrhea, according to reporting from Bloomberg News. Right, so this food that they're giving them is either probably it's probably rotten. Well, I wouldn't even say probably, man. It's most likely rotten, or it's probably abominable food, right? Because these Moabites, these so-called Chinese people, they eat anything, man. Okay, they cook cats, mice, dogs. They literally cook anything, man. And that's the truth. All right, you just look at the videos on the streets, man. They cook whatever they get their hands on, man. Why? Because the population is ridiculous over there. Roughly over 1 billion. Okay, so they don't have and the food. The food chain is all fucked up. So they getting whatever they can get their hands on. They feeding them to these people, man. And this food is probably, they probably giving them synthetic food, man. We don't know what's going on over there. We can only speculate. But we know all of this is prophecy, man. And we don't put it past that it's probably synthetic food, man. I'm speaking, that's just my vain opinion, But it says the care packages, which included meals like braised duck and meatballs, were sent to residents to help combat food shortages. The city's residents are prohibited from leaving their homes during the lockdown, which began earlier this month, and it has become increasingly difficult to purchase food, right? Because in a recent video, this was probably a couple weeks ago, it was a Moabite. He was on the phone. He was said, "Where am I supposed to get food from? Everything is fucking closed, right?" And they told him to stock up on food and everything. Okay, and look what's happened, man. Okay, nothing. The solution has not came, man. Okay, the ultimate solution is on its way, which is they already have out there martial law, but the ultimate solution is they're already rationing food. They're just waiting on the chip. All right. It says some delivery apps have prohibited individual orders, meaning many residents have had to coordinate with neighbors to join large group orders. It says last week, at least 2 districts in eastern Shanghai warned residents about problems with moldy braised duck and meatballs, or issues with packaging of food that had been distributed by the government. showing you that these governments really don't give a damn about you. They feeding them molded food, man. All right. And the scripture that came to mind was uh they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, right? You took this jab, you took the counsel of these governors and these politicians, and now look, they have backed you into a wall. Okay, they have trapped you in your own house, man. All right. And this is coming to Babylon the Great, whether you hear or forbear, man. All right, because a lot of you people, you just think you're gonna be safe here. No, man. All right, we're here to give you a warning, right? And if you don't take heed to that warning, hey, then the Heavenly Father is just gonna do away with you, man. All right, and that's gonna be righteous, because you have ignored the heed from His prophets, the warning from His prophets, Salaki. It says the market regulator will investigate and punish this kind of violation strictly and fast. An official at Shanghai's market watchdog said at a briefing on the issue last Wednesday. A's office also issued an additional guidance for procuring and distributing fresh food packages, requiring organizers and producers to do more to ensure food safety. All right. Okay, yeah. Let's see what it says. No, okay. It's the latest incident in what has been a troubling lockdown period that has caused many to question the effectiveness of China's Crown Vic Zero policy. Right. Shanghai is still reporting roughly 20,000 positive cases daily. Right. But they said, all you need, stay in the house for 2 weeks. Okay. Then they said get a jump shot. Okay, get another jump shot. Then get the Boost Mobile. Now what? Okay, you did everything. Now what? Okay, there's a video out on World Star that was released 2 years ago, and surprisingly, it wasn't taken down. Right. I'm pretty sure brothers watch it. It goes into, I don't even want to get into it. It says the city reported. If you don't know what the jump shots and boosters does, then hey man, you're not being prudent. It says the city reported 39 new Crown Vic deaths on April 23rd, the highest daily toll since the lockdown began. Crown Vic deaths were at just 12 the previous day. Earlier this month, a viral video showed frustrated residents screaming from the windows of their high-rise apartment buildings. The previous week, a different video appearing to show a Chinese health worker beating a Crown Vic positive resident's dog to death went viral. All right, and this is what's coming here, man. No mercy. All right, no mercy is coming here, man. All right, let me get what else they got. It says the world faces a growing stagflationary storm. Now let's go into that word, stagflationary. It says sluggish economic growth coupled with a high rate of inflation and unemployment. All right. I'm going to read that again. It says sluggish economic growth. Right. And that's what the IMF and the World Bank has been talking about, man. All right. They see that, these economies aren't getting any better, man. All right. And this is ultimately a plan set up by these bankers, these Rothschilds, these Rockefellers, right? And these men behind the scenes, right? These devils, these Edomites, so-called white people, right? Who are in control of the finances, the food sources, the resources, who control the world, man. This is their doing, man. All right, it says the new reality with which many advanced economies and emerging markets must reckon is higher inflation and slowing economic growth. And a big reason for the current bout of stagflation is a series of negative aggregate, right? What is aggregate? A collection, a total. All right, let's read that again. The new reality with which many advanced economies and emerging markets must reckon is higher inflation and slowing economic growth. And a big reason for the current bout of stagflation is a series of negative aggregate supply shocks that have curtailed production and increased costs. All right, curtailed. It says reduced, right? Because the food supply chain has been destroyed, man. All right, there has been 18 food manufacturing business plants that have been set on fire, right? So this is an attack, man. This is an attack. All right. This is a. It says Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity, right? And iniquity is sin upon sin, and work evil upon their beds." All right. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands, right? And that's talking about these rich elites that control everything, every asset of the world, man. Okay, they're behind this. They're working iniquity. They're devising iniquity and working evil, right? Because what do they want to do? They want to bring in a new world order, which we're already in, right? That's why your rights have been taken away. Okay, freedom of speech, right? It's slowly but surely getting taken away. Okay, and that's soon to come, man. Okay, it can happen any minute now. You had Obama and these EU nations talking about a Digital Service Act, which wants to limit hate speech and misinformation, disinformation, right? So this the times we in. Prophecy is everywhere, man. It says this should come as no surprise. The Crown Vic pandemic forced many sectors to lock down and disrupted global supply chains and produced an apparently persistent reduction in labor supply, especially in the U.S., right? Especially in the U.S. Why aren't you camps mentioning this, right? This is an attack on the Israelites, man. All right, because they want to starve you out and have you depend on them, man. All right. And it says, I'm gonna read it again. It says, the fertilizer manufacturer plant has burned down. All right, meaning what? You're not gonna be able to plant your own food, man. All right. It says then came Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and this is a scapegoat. They always want to use the Russian and Ukraine war as a scapegoat. All right. Which is all, it's all set up. It says, which has driven up the price of energy, industrial metals, food, and fertilizers. And now China has ordered draconian Crown Vic lockdowns in big economic hubs such as Shanghai, causing additional supply chain disruptions and transport bottlenecks, right? Meaning, let's go into that word, bottlenecks. It's a traffic jam, right? So it's hard to get your hands on certain things, man. Or people are still waiting on stuff from years ago, man. And most likely they just got their refund because they know they're not going to get it, man. All right? And this is the this is the book of Luke. Where is it? This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 54. It says, and he said also to the people, and this is Yahweh Shah speaking, right? He's speaking to you, to a multitude of people, right? Because, they feel, now they feel, where they were comfortable. They had no understanding. They were, the Lord had closed their eyes, right, and shut their ears, man, right? And their ears and eyes are still shut to this day, man. They have no idea what's going on. And the Lord Yahweh Shah has opened up our eyes, man. He has blessed us with the ability to understand the scriptures and to understand the times we in, man. It says Luke 12:54, and he said also to the people, when ye see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Right? You can tell that it's going to be certain types of weather, right? It says, ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time, right? The time of judgment, right? It tells you in the book of Jeremiah, the 7th chapter. It says, the stork knoweth her appointed time, right? Lord willing, this is the right chapter. Oh, 8th chapter, Salaki. It says, Jeremiah 8:7, yeah, the stork in the heavens knowing her appointed times, and the turtle and the crane and the swallow observe the time of their coming. But my people know not the judgment of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And everything that's going on is judgment, okay? The Lord said he was going to send famine, right? Pestilence, death, bloodshed, sword, right? For scourges of amendment. All right, but for all these things, they will not turn from their wickedness, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right? It says, but even without these important short-term factors, the medium-term outlook will be darkening. There are many reasons to worry that today's stagflationary conditions will continue to characterize the global economy, producing higher inflation, lower growth, and possibly recessions in many economies, man. All right. And, man, what is there else to say, man? Higher inflation and lower growth, man. You're going to be paying a lot for less, man. All right. You're going to be paying a lot for less. You're going to be paying $20 for a bag of 25-cent chips, man. All right. You're going to be paying $200 for a pound of chicken, man. All right. And it's probably it might be even worse than that, man. It says, for starters, since the global financial crisis, there has been a retreat from globalization and a return to various forms of protectionism. This reflects geopolitical factors and domestic political motivations in countries where large cohorts of the population feel left behind. Rising geopolitical tensions and the supply chain trauma are likely to lead to more reshoring of manufacturing from China and emerging markets to advanced economies, or at least nearshoring or friendshoring to clusters of politically allied countries. And, America and the EU, they get a lot of their stuff from other countries, okay? And a lot of these countries not dealing with America and the EU, right? They have their own agreements, like BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, right? They have their own alignments, man. Okay, they have their own groups. Okay, and America and the EU is fucked because everybody sees that this is the you know they are no good, man. Okay, they all they want, they want you to follow them, or they just gonna sanction you, man. All right, and I'm gonna get another article. It says get this people, people are settled on their ease, man. They're, on their, roughly pair, on their, the people are at ease, man. All right. It says an escalation of rhetoric, Moscow cites real risk of nuclear war. Okay. Moscow accused NATO of engaging in a proxy battle against Russia by arming Ukraine, saying this had created a serious and a real risk of nuclear war. Right. And who was funding, who was NATO led by America, right? And America continues to funnel money to Ukraine, right? Okay. Meanwhile, you got people out here in America that's fucked up, especially our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Seminole, Native American Indians. Okay, they continue to shit on you people, man. Okay, and you still love being here in America, man. You want to see America continue to go on. All right. Meanwhile, they done sent over $1 billion to Ukraine. Okay, that's your tax money, right? Your tax money is being shipped to Ukraine, right? To push this war. Okay. In a marked escalation of Russian rhetoric, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov was asked on state television about the importance of avoiding World War III and whether the current situation was comparable to the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, right? And I know that was one of the most tense moments of American existence, man. All right, because America could have been done away with, man. It says the risks now are considerable, Lavrov said, according to the ministry's transcript of the interview. I would not want to elevate those risks artificially. Many would like that. That danger is serious, real. That danger is serious, real, and we must not underestimate it, Lavrov said. NATO, in essence, is engaged in a war with Russia through a proxy, and is arming that proxy war means war, right? Well, right. When you aid, when you aid the enemy of an enemy, you're partaking in that war, man. All right, so what if you gonna help who I'm fighting, now you're my enemy, right? You're waging war against me. You're joining the battle. It says Lavrov's remarks came as U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin was set to convene a meeting of more than 40 countries at a German airbase to discuss arming Ukraine to help it fight off Russia's latest military assault in the east. All right. It says the aim is to coordinate aid that. Oh, I'm gonna jump down. Lavrov's trademark over the Britain also played down the Russian threat, right? Meanwhile, you got Russia releasing new weapons, missiles and bombs weekly, man. All right, and the American government is downplaying that, man. Okay, saying, oh, that's nothing, that's not meant for us, but it is. It says Lavrov's trademark over the course of 15 years or so that he has been the Russian foreign secretary has been that sort of bravado. I don't think that right now there is an imminent threat of escalation, Armed Service Minister James Heappy told BBC television. The U.S. State Department on Monday approved the potential sale of $165 million worth of ammunition to Ukraine. The Pentagon said that the package could include ammunition for howitzers, tanks, and grenade launchers, man. All right. So, hey, you waging war against Russia. It says a short gun for firing shells on higher trajectories at low velocities, man. All right. You're aiding and embedding in war, man. All right. And you're not going to get away with this, man. All right. It says, what is that? Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah 13, 17. Okay, you can really start from the top. All right. It says, behold, I will stir up the meat. Well, I'm going to go to verse 9, chapter 9. It says, for every verse, Isaiah 9:5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Yeah, ancient warfare with swords and chain link armor, right? It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, right? And that's talking about the nuclear missiles, man. I'm going to go back to 13. Who's going to set it off is, ultimately it's going to be Russia, Gog and Magog, known in the scriptures, all right? And it says Israel, which is the least of the flock, is going to, it's going to draw out America, okay? Because all these nations are going to take out the land of Israel and Babylon the Great, which is America, okay? It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it, right? And he's stirring up the Medes. He's going to stir up the Medes against America, Babylon the Great, all right? And they're not going to have mercy, right? Okay. It says, their bows shall also dash the young man to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. All right? Their eyes shall not spare children. So, the Russian, if you ever paid attention to Russian warfare, Russian men, period, hey, these men are warriors in the spirit, man. They have no heart, right? They have no sympathy, right? When it comes to when it's wartime, man, and that's what's gonna come. And a lot of that judgment is gonna fall upon you, Jakes, man. You 2/3 so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Seminole Native American Indians, man. You gonna fall into that, man. All right. It says, look at this. It says North Korea boasts of invincible power. World cannot ignore ahead of the holiday. Right? And this is one of the nations that's going to partake in this World War III too, right? Because America likes to put its head everywhere in business. That's not it. That has nothing to do with them, all right? It says North America, this is on the 24th, April 2022. It says North Korea state media on Sunday trumpeted how the country has gained an invincible power that the world cannot ignore and no one can touch, right? Under Kim Jong-un, an apparent reference to his nuclear weapons, right? Nuclear weapons, right? Something that could, that will utterly burn everything that it comes in contact with. It says Monday will mark the 90th anniversary of the founding of the Korean People's Revolutionary Army, and international monitors expect North Korea to stage a major military parade and possibly conduct other weapons displays. It says North Korea has conducted an unprecedented flurry of ballistic missiles tests this year, and American and South Korean officials say there are signs it could resumed nuclear weapons testing for the first time since 2017. A report by state news agency KCNA on Sunday listed the history of the North Korea's military achievements from its battles against the United States in the 1950-1953 Korean War and smaller skirmishes throughout the Cold War to the 2010 bombardment of South Korea's Yeonpyeong island, which hit both military and civilian targets. The North's military is equipped with offensive and defensive capabilities that can cope with any modern warfare. Okay. It praised Kim's genius military ideology and outstanding military command, and unparalleled courage and guts in his leadership in gaining the country's invincible power. South Korea had detected signs of North Korea preparing to hold a massive military parade around midnight Sunday. Right, and we go. It says the parade can include around 20,000 troops and showcase the North's latest major weapons, including Hwasong-17 intercontinental ballistic missile, a hypersonic missile, and missiles launched from submarines, the sources told Yonhap. So let's see what this is about, man. Let's look this up. All right. Let's see. I hate that shit. This was released on the 25th of March, 22. All right, and look at that. It says, is the biggest ICBM has ever developed and is potentially able to deliver a nuclear warhead to anywhere in the U.S. Right? It says it flew 681 miles at a maximum altitude of 3,905 miles. Right? It was in the air for an hour and 7.5 minutes. Okay. Hey, man, all these nations are going to take Babylon out, man. All right. All these nations are going to do away with Babylon the Great, man. All right. And it's going, hey, this is the Lord of hosts said he mustereth the battle, man. All right. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right? These heathen nations, right? Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, right? Wake up the mighty man, okay, which will be Russia, okay? And all sorts of, and the likewise the sort, right, that have military power, okay, who are men of war. It says, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. This is the point. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Because these countries, these small countries used to be agricultural states. Okay, they weren't really into warfare like that. But now America has put the spirit on them to create these weapons. Okay, because they want to do away with Babylon the Great, because they see that you have gotten, received ill-gotten gains from your, your wickedness, man. All right. And this is going to be your downfall, man. All right. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. All right. That's going to take place in the so-called Middle East. Right. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Right? Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And these weapons are nothing but wickedness, man. Okay, and you gonna pay for creating that shit, man. We gonna go around, okay, when the Lord gives us the spiritual powers when we come back down, from the when it says New Jerusalem coming down from heaven, when we come back down from them chariots, Lord willing, we are that number. We gonna go around destroying that shit, man. All right. And I'm gonna get this. It says panic buyers have emptied grocery shelves in Beijing, fearing the Chinese capital will soon have a Shanghai-style lockdown. All right. It says panic shoppers stripped supermarket shelves bare in Beijing after local health authorities ordered 3.5 million people in the city's largest district to undergo 3 rounds of mandatory Crown Vic tests this week. Okay, and that's draconian, man. That's a draconian decree, man. 3 in a week, and we know, okay, what's going on with them tests, man. Okay, the situation is grim, and these people panic buying is only, it's going to make the supply chain even worse, man. And that's going to cause a lot of people, to, go in, it's going to be a lot of sedition among men, okay, evading one another because of them things. It's because of that thing, man. It says the situation is grim, a member of Beijing's municipal party committee said on Sunday, adding that the whole city needed to act immediately to prevent a surge in cases. Local officials have placed several buildings on lockdown and have suspended some in-person social activities to prevent the VIC spreading. But Beijing health authorities believe the VIC may have been spreading invisibly for a week. Beijing authorities reported 19 new Crown Vic cases on Monday morning, with 60 cases recorded since Friday. All right. And this is that was the point, man. All right. I'm gonna read this right here. It says some Beijing residents, perhaps mindful of how a compulsory testing order in Shanghai evolved into an indefinite period of citywide lockdown that has left its residents desperate for food, are preparing for a prolonged lockdown in the capital. Shoppers are stockpiling food and other household supplies, even as local officials pledge to ensure adequate supplies in order to avoid food shortages seen during Shanghai's lockdown. Now, it's not, there's nothing wrong with going to get you, enough food to, sustain, right? But we're not dependent on that, right? You get you some non-perishable goods, okay? But we're not dependent on that. The Lord said we shall eat, right? In Isaiah 65, His servants shall eat, right? The Lord's gonna take care of us, man. All right, but it's not, it's nothing wrong with getting you, some food, right? Because you see, it says a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, right? But the simple pass on and are punished. It's good to go, you see what's going on, go get you some stuff that, that you can maintain with, all right? But in the meanwhile, fast, all right? Because, during Jacob's trouble, we don't know if we're going to be, we're not going to be, who knows if we're going to be eating every day, right? You might eat every 3 days. You never know, man. Okay. And got another article. Let's get this. It says, how deadly is Putin's nuclear Satan II missile? Right, and this is published 4 days ago. It says Russia has successfully tested a new intercontinental ICBM that is capable of launching nuclear warheads anywhere across the globe. But the Pentagon has said it is not a threat to the United States or its allies. There, once again, once they say peace and safety, sudden destruction cometh upon them, right? And never trust thy enemy, man. We don't trust what you're saying. We know that these nuclear missiles is coming for Babylon the Great, man. All right. And a televised address following the missiles reported launched on Wednesday, April 20th. Russian President Vladimir Putin boasted that the missile, officially called the RS-28 Sarmat, nicknamed Satan II by NATO, had no equivalence anywhere in the world and would make adversaries think twice before making threats against Russia. Now I just want to look up, the statistics of this weapon. All right. It says, I'm not really good with, foreign. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even say foreign. Eastern ways of measurement, all right? Because over here in Babylon the Great, everything is fucking backwards, man. Okay, this is the only place where, they don't, they don't confide with, the ways of the Eastern society, man, the Eastern world, all right? But as you see, it says 35 millimeters. All right, let's look that up. Well, you see it. I want to get another one. All right. Wait. Oh, shit, that's the same article, Salaki. Well, never mind. It goes right into it. It says, but just how much does the diabolically nicknamed missile add to Russia's nuclear threat? First introduced by Putin in a 2018 State of the Nation address as the next generation of nuclear missile technology, the Sarmat missile is 116 feet long and weighs 220 pounds. Russia began developing the missile in early 2000, and it can carry up to 15 light nuclear warheads in an array known as multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. MIRVs are a missile type first made in the early 1960s and are designed to allow ICBMs to send multiple warheads to different targets. Right? This thing is going to hit different targets, man. One nuclear missile with multiple warheads is going to hit multiple targets. That's why it says 200,000, right? It says the Sarmat missile was developed to replace Russia's current intercontinental ICBM, the aging Soviet-era R-36 or Volvita, dubbed Satan by NATO, right? Which could be made into a MIRV of up to 10 light warheads. In addition, the new missile has an estimated range between 6,200 and 11,180 miles, right? An improvement, right, of the form of the range of 6,340 to 9,940, according to the U.S. Center for Strategic and International Studies. So, hey, man, this is it, man. Hey, these heathens, hey, the Lord is stirring up. He's getting everything riled up, man. It says, Zephaniah 3:8, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, and to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, man. Right? And so the Lord wants to gather all you heathens together, man, to do away with you. And that's going to be in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, right? And, I want to go more into that, all right? Because Babylon is going to be taken out, all right? Okay, and America is Babylon. Okay, Babylon, which was in Iran, which would be modern day, and in modern day Iran, it still exists. It has not been utterly desolate. All right. I'm gonna start at verse 3, Jeremiah 53. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. It says out of the north, and Russia is in a northern atmosphere, right? Hemisphere, Slovakia, right? And none shall dwell therein. It says, it says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. Who? Babylon the Great. Okay, and Babylon is known as a woman, right? It says, what shall make her land desolate? Let's go into the word desolate. It says, horror, waste. Okay, a waste. It says, astonishment, a waste, a wonderful thing, right? It's going to be a wonderful thing when this place is turned into a lake of fire, man. It says, and none shall dwell therein, right? None, okay? But it's still people living over there in Babylon, right? They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast, right? And I'm gonna keep jumping down. This is verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. All right. You got the north country represents once again Russia, right? And there's going to be an assembly of great nations, meaning Russia is going to annex more countries, right? Which means to join with, right? Like they join Crimea. They're going to join Ukraine. Ukraine is going to join Russia because it was once part of Russia, right? If that happens, right? And Belarus, okay, a lot of nations that was once part of the Soviet Union, okay, that the NATO was trying to put under, bring them in to their block, right? It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, right? And so that means multiple nations are going to go against Babylon. It says, from thence she shall be taken, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, right? And Chaldea is another word for, it's another play on words for America, which is Babylon the Great, man. All right. It says, I'm gonna jump down to 12. It says, your mother shall be sore confounded, right? Which was Great Britain, all right? Because Great Britain is gonna, Great Britain is gonna even turn on America, right? All these nations, NATO, EU, all these nations that have made deals with Babylon, the United Nations, are gonna turn against Babylon the Great, man. All right. Because this place is known for never, not holding, any of its treaties, right? Being more stout than their fellows, being thus most proud, right? Claiming that you are God, right? This is why the nation's gonna do away with you, man. You pushing wickedness across the earth, right? Telling little boys and girls you can switch genders, right? The nations want to do away with you, man. All right. And ultimately, the Heavenly Father wants to do away with you, man. He's going to put it on these nations, put it in the spirit of these nations to let off on you, man. All right. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost part of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. And you can really read this whole chapter in the next chapter, but we're going to get into some more articles, man. Shalakia. It says, Slacking on the sniffling. I'm just getting over a sickness, man. You know, the water y'all about Shimon was shy, man. Let's get this. It says the odds of a recession are 35%, says one of Biden's favorite economists. But something else is even more likely. This was released 6 days ago. It says recession anxiety, it's catching. Although many economists and financial experts started the year forecasting that 2022 would be the year that the U.S. put supply chain issues in the rearview mirror and produced another strong 4 quarters of economic growth, those hit the wall in February when Russia invaded Ukraine and inflation continued to spiral upward. Now the Federal Reserve, right, which is who's behind that? Okay, you know who. Those who are behind the IMF and the World Bank, okay, the Bank of London, right? Okay, you Rothschilds, you Rockefellers, you devils, man. It says now the Federal Reserve is walking a tightrope of trying to get inflation under control through the interest rate hikes, all without slowing down economic growth so much that it tips the U.S. into a recession. But hey, this is you can't. What the Heavenly Father has done, okay, you can't turn it back, man. All right, He has sent plagues upon Babylon, man, and they won't return. Right? It says since January 2021, one economist in particular has gotten cited repeatedly by the Biden administration, and he doesn't even work in the White House. Okay. That's Mark Zandi, Moody's chief economist, and even he is worried about a recession in the next 2 years, although that's not quite the full story. On Tuesday, Zandi noted that he believes there's about a 35% probability that the U.S. will enter a recession in the next 2 years, but he sees a bigger potential for something else. The risk of the economy entering into a recession at some point over the next 12, 18, 24 months is very high, uncomfortably high, and I say it's rising, Zandi said Tuesday during a webinar, right? And, that's the point. It's a 35% chance, okay? It says that's on par with Goldman Sachs' recent estimate, which also put the likelihood of a 35% of a recession at 35%, right? If the U.S. were to enter a recession, it would likely cause consumers to spend less, businesses to struggle and push unemployment up, man. That's what they want to do. They want to bring in a universal basic income, right? This is why the inflation is rising. They're giving Alphabet Transformers $900 a month. Okay, they're also giving homeless people out in L.A. or not sure where it was, but in California they're giving homeless people. I think it was San Fran. I'm not sure, but they're giving homeless people a certain amount of money per month. All right, it just they want to they want you to they want you to be own nothing and be happy, man. All right, that's what they want you to be, man. All right. And I'm going to get this. Once again, it says the World Bank, right? Once again, who is that? It says, uh, the World Bank, well, he told BBC, the world faces a human catastrophe from a food crisis arising from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. World Bank President David Malpass has said, right? Let's see who's this guy, man. Look at this devil, man. Devil, man. Look at this guy. He looks like a creep, man. These devils gotta go, man. All right? They have to go, man. It says he told the BBC that record rises in food prices will push hundreds of millions people into poverty and lower nutrition if the crisis continues. The World Bank calculates there could be a huge 37% jump in food prices, man. All right. And this is most likely to happen, man. All right. We're warning you people, okay, that, this is what's going on. But you want to, and mainly we talking to our people, you want to continue to shake your ass in the club, live in mirth, right? Continue to use the internet for folly, all right? Continue to disobey the laws of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. You want to just keep doing what you want to do, so, hey, you're going to suffer this judgment on us to come, man, all right? This will hit the poor hardest who will eat less. And who's that talking about? It's talking about you Israelites, okay, and those who scattered abroad, man, all right? It says who will eat less and have less money for anything else, such as schooling. It says in an interview with BBC economics editor, well, let me get to the quotation. It says it's a human catastrophe, meaning nutrition goes down, and it was already no nutrition in this food, man. They don't keep the land Sabbath. That's why they're creating synthetic food, 3D printed meats, right? It says, but then it also becomes a political challenge for governments who can't do anything about it. They didn't cause it, and they see the prices going up. He said on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank meetings in Washington. The price rises are broad and deep, he said. It's affecting food of all different kinds, oils, grains, and then it gets into other crops, corn crops, because they go up when wheat goes up. There was enough food in the world to feed everybody, he said, and global stockpiles are large by historical standards, but there will have to be a sharing of sales. There will have to be a sharing or sales process to get the food to where it is needed, right? And I think the world is on a 90-day food supply source, right? Back up, right? Or, 6 months, right? Hey, man, this is it, man. Okay, the end is come, man. All right, it says that in Ezekiel 7. All right. I'm going to keep reading. It says, instead, he said the focus needed to be on increasing supplies across the world of fertilizers and food, alongside targeted assistance for the very poorest people. The World Bank chief also warned of a knock-on crisis within the crisis arising from the inability of developing countries to service their large pandemic debts amid rising food and energy prices. This is a very real prospect. It's happening for some countries. We don't know how far it'll go. As many as 60% of the poorest countries right now are either in debt distress or at a higher risk of being in debt distress, he said. Right? And this is what they want you to, this is what they're doing. They're causing everything to be broken down so they could come in with the solution, man. All right, they're going to come in with mass rationing. Okay, and ultimately, UBI, and the ultimate solution is going to be that chip, all right, in order to get what you want to get, food, water, clothing. Okay, you're going to have that chip, man. All right. And I'm gonna close out with that, man. I wonder if this doing the 1611. Yeah, con. You can really get this whole chapter. These last two. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 14. Second Ezra 15 and 14. Well, wait. Then I'm gonna jump back. This is Second Ezra. I'm gonna start at 17. Chapter 16, verse 17 says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days. And this is the beginning of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. This is it. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. All right. There's going to be a lot of, a lot of darkness in these times, man. A lot of people are going to be down in the spirit, okay, because they're not going to know what to do, all right, because they did not hearken unto the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua through his prophets, man. All right, they're going to be down and out with no solution, man, no way out, nothing to depend on but the devil, man, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It says the beginning of famine and great death, man. The beginning of famine and great death, man. Okay. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. Right? The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from the wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right? Because these things were sent for our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Seminole, Native American Indians. These plagues were sent to you because you despise the Heavenly Father. Okay, you continue to worship other gods. All right. It says, but behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and that's what these people think right now. Okay, they think just because it hasn't skyrocketed to a crazy amount that they're going to be good. Everything is going to go back to normal. No. Okay, it says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, great confusion, man. All right. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth. You got more evil such as the Shanghai going on, the Shanghai situation. Wars going on. Alphabet transformer stuff going on. Satanic worship being put into schools, right? It's a lot of evil growing upon the earth, man. All right, and the Heavenly Father is going to do away with this place, man. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. Many, right? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? So if you get away from the famine, you still going to get took out by the sword, man. All right? I'm going to go back to 2 Corinthians 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right? This is going into the civil wars, the race wars, man. Right? For there shall be sedition among men, right? And invading one another. Why? Because there's not going to be any food, right? They're gonna what is that? They're gonna watch your house, plot on it, see what you do when you see how long you leave every day. Come back to your house, it's utterly empty, man. All right, utterly empty. Everything is gone, right? It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and they're not doing that right now, man. They're going against these kings and princes of the earth right now. Some of them getting slapped, some of them getting called out on their bullshit. It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning they're going to take matters into their own hands, man. It says, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able, right? And that's talking about martial law. Because after the sedition among men and invading one another, they're going to have to bring in martial law, right, to keep things at ease, right? And during that time, you're going to be ration food, and it might be the same shit that they was giving out in China, man, molded food, right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the house shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. It says, and men shall be afraid. So you women, what are you gonna do, right? What are you not gonna be afraid? If man being afraid, are you, so what? You just the Colombiana spirit, you still gonna have that? No, man. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. All right. And that's the point, man. And I'm gonna close out with that, man. This is Jacob's trouble. We're on the brink of it, man. Okay, they're gonna do away with the internet, and after that, things are gonna speed up, man. All right, and the Lord set us up to be watchmen, man. All right, our duty is to watch. Okay, watch unto prayer, man. All right. The Lord willingness is edifying. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Kwam Yashra Baba Bull.